What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Empire Sports Talk. I'm your host, Roman Gennaro, and I want to talk about the NFC West. Let's do it. So the last several videos, all leading up to the NFL opener, which is just a couple of days away, but by the time this video comes out, we have broken down every division, going one at a time, and last but not least, we make it to the NFC West, and this is going to be a good one. Let's start with who I think is going to win this division, and for a couple of reasons, I think it's going to be no real surprise here. I think it's going to be the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of guys are coming back from injury. Brock Purdy signed a 5-year, $265 million contract extension. Hopefully he can stop living on teammates' couches. They re-signed Kyle Juszczyk. They brought in Mac Jones to back up Purdy. As we saw a couple of years ago in the playoffs when all their quarterbacks got hurt and they had nobody throwing. Now they bring in Mac Jones. They bring in Demarcus Robinson at receiver. They bring in Equanimeous St. Brown at receiver. They re-signed George Kittle along with bringing in 2 more tight ends. They shore up that offensive line. A lot of players coming back from injuries. Last year was a fluke where they had a bunch of injuries. A lot of those guys are back healthy now. They did obviously lose Debo, and because they finished last year with such a bad record, they are now playing a last place schedule. The 49ers, who are now healthy, are playing a last place schedule. They are playing the schedule of somebody who went 6-11 a year ago, but they are much better than that record, and which now gives them the easiest schedule in the entire NFL. The easiest schedule in the entire NFL belongs to a team that was in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. So I know a lot of people are high on the Rams, but with Matthew Stafford's injury, we just don't know how available he's going to be. So I have to, between the strength of schedule, the last place schedule, and everybody being back healthy, I got to go San Francisco 49ers pretty easily on this one. Number 2, I got to, and probably a playoff team, got to go with the Rams here. They say that Matthew Stafford is on track to play week 1, but who the heck knows? The Rams are middle of the road in terms of strength of schedule, but there are a lot of people high on this Rams team. They bring in Devontae Adams. They re-sign Tutu Atwell. They re-sign Jimmy Garoppolo as the backup just in case, although a lot of reports from camp is that Stetson Bennett is playing much, much better. Not a ton here in terms of signings. Devontae Adams is the biggest one because they begin their tenure without Cooper Kupp, who was there for a long time. They also said goodbye to Demarcus Robinson, who is now with the 49ers, Joe Noteboom, who is now with the Ravens, and several other players. But I believe Devontae Adams is going to be able to fill the hole left by Cooper Kupp pretty well, even though he's on the back half of his career at this point. A lot of people are high on the Rams, but because of schedule, I have them at second instead of first. They are middle of the road in terms of strength of schedule. Within the last 24 hours, I've heard a lot about the Cardinals. There are some people that are high on the Cardinals. There's even, I think it was Mike Tannenbaum even said he has the Cardinals winning the AFC West. Sorry, I believe it was Mike Tannenbaum that said he even has the Cardinals winning the NFC West, and I just don't see that happening. But there are some interesting things to like. If Kyler Murray can return to form, They brought in Jacoby Brissett to be the veteran backup to kind of teach him. They brought in a couple of edge rushers, re-signed Trey McBride. Nothing super flashy, but nothing to horribly dislike. I don't think this is a playoff team, but I think they're going to be better. I think they're going to be one of the most improved teams from a year ago. And fourth, and this kind of surprises me looking at all the numbers and stats and things, fourth, I have the Seattle Seahawks. The last few years, they've been perennial fringe playoff team. They brought in Sam Darnold as their new starting quarterback with a 3-year, $100.5 million deal. They also brought in Drew Lock and Cooper Kupp and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. On paper, there's a lot of names to like here, but we'll just have to see, because the Seahawks are one of those teams that, like, for the last few years with Geno Smith, we've expected them to do a little bit more, and they just haven't. On the defensive side, though, they have signed DeMarcus Lawrence, Jonathan Hankins, Jaron Reed. So there's a lot to like there, so they could potentially jump Arizona for me to be in third place, but right now, to my own surprise, I have to say Seattle finishes fourth. And so that brings my NFC West. Number 1, San Francisco 49ers, between all their star players returning from injury and playing a last place schedule, easiest schedule in the NFL. They are number 1. The Rams, I think, are a playoff team at number 2, depending on how healthy Matthew Stafford is. Number 3, Arizona Cardinals. I think they could be the most improved team from a year ago. Number 4, Seattle Seahawks. So that rounds out my breakdowns and predictions for each NFL division. And that means, if you're watching this video, that we are very close to the NFL regular season. I am Roman Gennaro for Empire Sports Talk. Enjoy NFL football. I'll see you around.